Welcome back into Solar Nations 2 builders. We are continuing on with our Japan playthrough here. Last time around, we made great inroads on the moon. The moon is basically a tripolar, I guess, moon at this point. We have Russia, China, and Japan controlling all of the moon. Very interesting situation here. I do notice that there's a very large number of forces here. They seem to be like, I guess, the equivalent of peasant rabble that China has brought in. We have started arming ourselves a little bit. This is going to be, I think, slow going while we're trying to recruit up here on the moon, but we're working on it. When that one finishes, I do think we are going to continue our military escalation. We're also looking at maybe getting some space forces up and running sooner rather than later. We started doing a little bit of surveying, and we hit a big iron deposit in what I consider the lunar capital, and may someday be a place we would move our capital if the population of the moon ever gets higher than back on Earth. We also hit a 4 nuclear fuel here, which is great because I do need a big power plant, but this is really a bad place for it because we're gonna have so many other factories that it's really expensive. If we just check in, so it's 71K for a level 1 reactor. If I was to build down here, how much are you? Yeah, only 32K. So way cheaper down here. However, that would only take me to level 4, and then I would need to put in a bunch of power infrastructure. So I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna hold off. It's not an emergency yet. We're gonna try to do some more surveying and see if we can find anything else that's a better fit before we commit to that. And if we have to, we have to. I don't hate it or anything. I also, on Earth, was looking around, and in Central, it's not going to be economically viable. But in the other 2 regions, I do think that it's probably worth raising the level of our automated factory. Assuming that these are making me, I don't know, $700, $600, the repay time is not that bad, and it would get me a little bit of money. I don't really foresee us building a lot of other things here. I guess we do have some heavy metals that would allow us to do consumer goods industry, but in all honesty, it's not going to be that many. It would give me some more middle class power, and it does claim that we would make money. All right, you know what? I'm in. Over here, we don't have that, however. Could put some more food in. I just don't, these aren't like crazy good farmlands. And the pay on open air farming is actually not that bad. All right, I'm in. We'll do that. So a little bit of work here on the planet, but our focus is in the stars. So we're coming back up here. Kind of the same thing. A lot of these places that have nothing else that they need to do, starports and automated factories, especially if I find places where we can build automated factories for less than 10K. I'm very interested in doing that. Okay, you may be a power area. Okay, I'm gonna let some time go here. I'm trying not to go into deficit spending. Research complete, more infrastructure possible. Also, we have some other things. So they want me to spend a little bit of stability. I'm fine with holding on to some. And a new culture trait. Okay, so last time we finished, well, we replaced the Mandate of Heaven with a Frontier Spirit. And various bonuses there, but one of which being that we have the Universal Exploration. So no interplanetary splinter cultures. It'd be really nice if I could have done this before the moon, but it just wasn't going to happen. As we saw, the moon will get gobbled up if we don't move on it. We are pretty deep into the atheist line. We could get some extra admin and some extra research speed, both of which would be good. I'm just looking at my admin. Not everywhere is great. We are running the rapid development here. That's eating up some of our admin. So extra admin does have some use. We are unlikely to change off of humans as our species anytime soon. I don't care for a lot of these, but the habitability bonus actually. Habitability, if we look here, gives us a modifier to development equilibrium and our population limit. So that actually is not bad. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. The other thing we might do is we might switch out individualism. There are things I like in here. We do get middle class. We do get research. We do get consumer goods. Okay, maybe this is good enough. Commerce sector, I do foresee that in our future. Okay, individualism, you can stay. So these are our 4 until 2100, when I think we'll be able to add another culture trait. But for now, let's work on humans with a big eye towards habitability, pop growth, etc., etc. So right now we'll get 5% attack, not very juicy, frankly. Okay, and research-wise, what we're really wanting is 20 tier 2 techs so that we can unlock interplanetary technology. We have 14 techs currently, and we have 4 queued up. So I need to queue 6 more up, is basically what that means. We have genetic sequencing queued. Nothing else in normal techs can be grabbed. We come over here. We're getting improved artillery, handheld railgun, titanium armor. So I need 2 more. Advanced shipbuilding. That's naval stuff. Floating fortresses, cool, but not useful when we don't have an atmosphere. Ammo feeders, armor polarization. Okay, that one's interesting to me. I kind of want space stuff though. Lasers. EMP. Railgun turrets. Okay, let's get lasers. I have no idea how good any of these are, and I guess let's get engines. Alright, that should take us to the 20 techs that we need to unlock the next thing. Let's let some time go here. And I'm looking for a moolah. Alright, I really should scan areas that we don't have a lot in yet, because those are going to be the areas that I'd be most interested in developing, because they'll be cheap. Waiting for that 100k. There it is. All right, bang. 8 levels of iron, some water, and 2 levels of nuclear fuel. Acknowledged. Okay, so I do have to click off and click back to get that to refresh. I do wish that that would refresh right away. Okay, 9 levels of iron. If I needed some more industrial capacity, that would be good. I just don't. I think we are already, yeah, we're already selling a ton and it's not worth much. So I don't think we are going to be that interested there. People zipping around with ships or something. Okay, another point here. Let's go ahead and do minus 5% war exhaustion. All right, that's fine. Our pop is growing ever so slightly. What is that zipping around? I assume that's a ship flying around. This game really needs more ticker information. So I know when, like, let's say a war kicks off. Okay, again, areas that are less developed would be more interesting to scan. Get that one. 2 nuclear fuel, not very useful. Okay, bring it back. Of course, now that I slowed it down, that thing's gonna totally be hiding. Basically, oh, there he goes again. Okay, research complete. Genetic material factory production efficiency. We may need that at some point. That cloning facility was interesting, and the gene clinics were also pretty interesting. Allowing people to live to be older would help. Waiting on that cash. Oh man, look at that income. That's what we like to see. Water, iron, nuclear fuel. Okay. That does tell me that if we ever were, we didn't need to stretch for this, basically. We can find nuclear fuel relatively readily on the moon, it seems. The North Valid region of Japan. Nice. Yeah, this is an area that's going to have an industry we just don't have unlocked yet. We'll bring that speed back up to quote-unquote normal. 0.5 being normal is kind of hilarious to me. Let that build up. I really don't have too much I need to be concerned about here. 95, 100. And actually, all right, I did notice one thing when I was looking around before I started recording. If we look at Mars, hey Mars, it is still 100%. Oh, no. A tiny amount of Chinese has arrived on, the Reds are on the red planet, mostly United States. Now, this is very terraformable, and you'll have really high population loads. I mean, it's going to be great. I just don't think we are a power that's strong enough to compete for prime territory like that. But Mars does have 2 moons. We have Deimos here with 21 iron. And a Curiosity, actually, now that I notice that. And we have Phobos with 23 iron. So I think we just take one or maybe both of these. It's in range, right? It is in range. Because right now, our maximum refining is 13. And that gives us a build modifier cost of -13. So if we were to get this boy, and once we fully buff it, this could be in the neighborhood of like 30% reduction. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to have a little interest in what's happening on the red planet. So we're going to send some colonists to Phobos. And I think it will do Deimos too if we can. So a little bit of expansion here. We got Spy's Plane. Interesting enough. All right. And actually, hang on. I guess I should... Can I zip back over there, please? Well, we'll scan it when we own it. I changed my mind. We'll continue on with our plans here. All right, looking for, again, areas that don't really have anything yet. Do it. 2 nuclear fuel, 2 heavy metals, a Curiosity. Okay. A Curiosities, again, are for research. We definitely need to get some research down. I feel like we are probably massively behind the big nations, if I had to guess. Especially with the way our start was just so slow. But we did it. We did it. I think we're past the worst of the population problem. Yeah, look at that. Look at that nice, healthy population. That is so much better than what we had before. That pyramid is the pyramid of death. The inverted pyramid is the pyramid of life. Deep lore for you there. Research complete. Fortification project efficiency. New culture. Okay, we're going to continue down human. Some extra habitability and some research. Excellent. And actually, now that I think about it, let's go ahead and, despite the cost, well, okay, let's do our infrastructure first. But then I think we're going to add space habitation here. So this gives habitability plus 10. And remember, that affects our development. And because this is like our jewel on the moon here, I will go ahead and plunk that in there. Let that raise the habitability, which will raise our development equilibrium and will raise our pop limit. Are we anywhere close to 1 million people anywhere? No. We've got like 1 million total on the moon at the moment. This area can fit 50. That's pretty big. Oops, and I went into negatives there. Restrain yourself, Babel. Responsible fiscal policy. Oh, and there it is. The Age of Unraveling. Maximum culture traits +1. Instead of the end of history, the apex of the information age instead generated a hyper-complex society where no one save the ultra-powerful truly benefited. For a time, psychological tricks could keep the masses in line, but no longer. The old structure which defined the world since the end of the Classic Age are unraveling, and a new world is coming into being. Now, I would imagine this is supposed to have an event like the one we had before, and it's just not in, because I don't think that, yeah, we don't have a situation or anything, or maybe one will pop up. Maybe it just doesn't start instantly. Now that did mention we can add another culture trait. I think we're gonna snag a bunch of this human stuff before we worry about, because it's 10 to add a new one and it's only like 2.5 to grab the traits themselves. So we're not in a super hurry. I got the one I really wanted. Building up that infrastructure. Our tech has gotten quite high on that. We can build so high. Keep that project cost down, minus 40%. I'd imagine that scales faster than adding one more project, but I haven't done the math on it. Project's build speed's really nice too. All right, putting in space habitation. All right, scan. Water, iron, some fuel. Man, why did you have to be so rich? Why did you have to get the nuclear fuels there? Okay, our colony is almost done. Oh, you know what? Pause. I should build infrastructure here. I want to get all 3. Oh, I can, oh shoot, I can go higher. I didn't even think about that. I do want to do that because I just saved myself like 10 years of construction by doing that. Yeah, we're in debt, but it'll be all right. All right, let's head over there. And I think, yep, there it is. Habitability is 60. You're better than the moon. Presence of oxygen. Are you kidding me? Hang on a second. I don't think we have the right thing selected here. We have the right thing selected here. Presence of oxygen. But we don't. Huh. I have no explanation for why we get 60% habitability here, but that is pretty nice. We could make that easily up to 70 if we added a space thing. Okay, so yeah, I want to build this. So before we do anything else, we'll just put in that steel refinery, because that's going to make everything else that we build cheaper by raising our maximum refining amounts. Handheld railguns are done. New culture idea. All right, 10% more pop growth. We are doing it. We are fixing the railguns. Yep. What's next? Just a straight up 0.1 stability gain. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, and look at that. We can actually pay off our debts a little bit. This new major refinement area is also going to mean that we can sell off some more of that refining, so that we might see a nice little jump. Right now, we're already making 5.3K. We'll see if that changes here when that finishes. Okay, I don't care about the orbit. I want the planet. Planet. You're gonna be like that? All right, we'll do it this way. Oh my goodness. We actually clicked on the wrong place. That is really annoying. Okay, well that explains the 60% that I could not understand. Wow. What the heck? I definitely had Phobos. Alright, well that's an interesting bug. I don't want the orbit, I want the planet. Okay, let's do this a different way then. That is super annoying. I was wondering why that was called Spy's Plane. I guess that explains it. Alright, I want expansion. I want the biggest iron you can find. Ceres, asteroid belt. Okay, we're not to any of those yet. Deimos, Phobos. I want Phobos. With its 20 iron. Send. That is super duper annoying because I just also spent all that money on that infrastructure. All right, well, I'm doing it up here too. That is super duper, and this is going to be a problem. Can we release them? Transfer this territory to somebody else. You know what? Let's do that. Here you go, China. Yes. All right, maybe that'll make them like us more. That'll also maybe cause problems for the Americans on Mars. Oh, and look at that. American collectivist revolt. They're already having problems. Okay, well, annoying. I want my money back. But there it is. That is... Not happy about that. It's all right. We'll survive. All right, Phobos. Have you ever accidentally colonized Mars? Because now I can say I have. Okay, 39% habitability makes far more sense. I'm way less confused than I was. All right, for realsies, let's build a steel refinery up here and get that going. All right, I've totally lost the number in my head now. 5.3K. I want to see how much money we actually end up making here. And even this place, 2.5 development's not terrible. And they have a massive reduction. Specialization. That specialization bonus is pretty nice. I don't know how viable it is when you're a small country, but big countries can probably keep that. Get that steel refinery. We're going to make a bajillion more industrial, which I really don't need. Is what it is. Okay. We were making 5.3. 9.5, if that is to be believed. Okay. So I think we're going to grab Demos also for literally the same reason. We are going to be the #1 exporter of steel, space steel. And we can make this even better. Which route do I want to take on that? I think I do want to make that better right away. So what I want is resource extraction, refining sector plus 20%. So that's already going to be 4 levels. Let's do that. All right, and then let's try to select Demos. Is that possible, game? No, just the low orbits. I don't know why we're having problems with this all of a sudden. I wasn't before. Okay, I just have to zoom in ridiculously. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab that also. Now, I believe you can build things in these stable orbits. Like it says there's stuff here. Like what's that? Space station. But I don't believe we have the tech for that. So, all right. Up to the stability gain. Education efficiency is probably worth it. I mean, I guess I have a bunch of those bonuses that I'm not really using. Probably should get those. That's our one benefit, is that we are really well educated. And I suppose we could also increase funding. It's another thing. Also, weirdly enough, so you can move almost any window except for this outlier. I want to move it up and expand it because, I mean, we're a tiny nation and we're already filling this thing up. That does not feel great. All right, zip me back over here. How are we doing? Did we finish the work? We did. 49% habitability. I suppose if we're going to do a scan, we should probably do Phobos next. Oh, hang on. And I'm settling things and not putting in the infrastructure. All 5 of them. Yeah, like I said, that's literally like a decade worth of construction that I can just, I guess we just ship it over there. I don't know. It feels like it probably should be taking industrial capacity. All right, we finished lasers. One more tech. Okay, did I do my counting right? No. Okay, I don't care about the engines then. I want our interplanetary tech. Yes. Oh, baby, baby. All right, so let's see what we can get. It's probably starting in actual tech, but let's just take a peek here. So we could get acclimatation 3, gives us some extra habitability, gives us some extra pop growth, mega urbanization, privilege level, interesting. Max level 1, corporate. Okay, so we can just build a building that makes corpos more powerful. Also gives us project efficiency. So that I believe that would just be everything built in that area. So that makes sense, right? You have an area that has a bunch of stuff in it. That's where you'd want to build something like this. Actually, is that their faction bonus? No. The technocrats, that is not their faction bonus. Okay, but something else that does scale off their power. Interesting. Okay. We have social cohesion 3. Development equilibrium, income from resources. We have free association, so a middle class upgrade. This does give assimilation. We only have 2 cultures and they're related, so I don't think we're having any problems with that at the moment. Although it'd be nice if we could assimilate everybody into one, now that we won't cause splinters anymore. Okay, not super needed, but definitely interesting. Max level, so that's gonna be somebody's, I guess, a middle class privilege. Laissez-faire economics, power base, free market, minus 5%. Project efficiency plus 20%. Ooh, we like that. Education. Okay, I didn't actually finish the first one. 25%. Industry development. And actually, what did you have? I'm not sure exactly what that one is. Missing a pre-op. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, labor contracts. So rural people, infrastructure efficiency, political innovation, psychological operations. Okay, the spy agency increases, and they can do yearly unrest reduction and faction loyalty. Yearly unrest. Okay, that's kind of juicy, actually. Psychology, just another flat reduction in unrest. Class 5 thought weapons. Culture trait cost minus 10%. Culture idea cost minus 10%. That's not that expensive. I don't know, because I don't have any experience with any other nations yet. I feel like we're ripping through the culture stuff really, really fast. I think that's one of our advantages. I bet you the big nations struggle a little bit with that. I don't know exactly what it scales off of. I couldn't find a tooltip. Okay, and then we're down into the military stuff. All right, but this is probably where we're gonna want to be. Interplanetary culture, just a straight up 5% extra unity. I mean, that'd be fine. Okay, interplanetary colonization probably gets me to Jupiter. And then colonization range, AUs plus 30. That's going to take us deep, deep into the solar system if we need it. Spaceport project can also go higher. A way station. Region limit 1, space fleet capacity. Okay. Astroform. Okay, so here's the terraforming stuff. And I can't scroll. Oh, there we go. It's the mouse wheel. That's a little weird. Yeah, you need to build a certain amount of these to terraform planets. Interplanetary trade. Project build cost is minus 10%. And then we could unlock the commercial zone. So it requires manufacturing 3. Gives me some more development equilibrium and just make some cash of its own. The service industry requires ice 9. Okay, I don't have any of that, but we could if we were out in the Jovian. Trade value goes up and resource limit. Okay, right now I'm leaning towards getting this or this. I mean, extra money would be nice. Okay, also, okay, our nano factory. We actually have territory. Oh no, it's not the nano factory we need. It is the... Maybe this isn't it. There's another material that I thought we were unlocking with this tech, but maybe I was wrong. Yeah, nanocomposite sector. Nanocomposites are what I thought we couldn't build, but maybe we can? Okay, electronics requires 3, which we have plenty. Nanobot healthcare. Population life plus 10 years and some more development. Requires nanocomposites. Government reform. Nanocomposite law. Nanodeposits. Okay. Nanocell cooling. Exosuit. Cold fusion. Okay. Yeah, we already had the nano factory. Cybernetics. Robots plus 20%. Robots plus 10%. Lowers brain control chip. Lowers unrest. But a lot of robot usage. Nanocomposite sector level modifier increased. Unleash scrap code. Add situation scrap code. That does not sound good. Virtual society. Clergy and minus unrest. Okay, some AI stuff. Quantum computing. Supercomputer. Yeah, we haven't really built any of this stuff yet because we're just too poor. That's the long short of it. We're just too poor. Okay, and that's more gene stuff. All right, so I think we're gonna grab... Okay, so we're getting Interplanetary. You know what? This is gonna be so fat. Well, let's grab that one. Then we'll grab that one because they're gonna be prereqs for that. We'll go ahead and get that. And if that doesn't get us there, then we could go for that one if we have to. Okay, that gets us a bunch of very important techs. And we are making a smidgen of money. All right, we're in. Immediately build another steel refinery. Yeah, our steel is building the future. Everyone should buy it from me. My bajillion dollars. And I think, sorry guys, we're gonna go scan our moons and see if we could get some extra iron because that's just straight up free money. Water, more iron, and some nuclear fuel. Nice. All right, so we have to unselect it or select something else and then come back. 26 iron. That is beautiful. How are we only at 25? Oh, there we go. It needed to refresh. 32 refining, and we're not done yet. Man, that is sweet. 32% reduction. All right, show me Nemos. Okay, they're only at 19. Oh man, that sucks. Only at 19. Yeah, we're making tons of steel income. Resource extraction. And I need to scan this one too. Iron plus 6 and some nuclear fuel. All right, it's up to something. Hang on, let's refresh it. Up to 24, so 24 and 26. 26 being my highest one at the moment. Yeah, and we can go up to level 3 extraction, it looks like. Let's just queue those up. Oh, I'm not allowed to double queue because you're not done. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of debt, we'll be fine. Okay, let's start getting those education. I'll take the admin. How are we doing here? 4.59. We're still not fully completed here. We have, oh, and actually we have completed our unit we were building. All right, let's do another one. So I'm gonna do recovery. So do I not pay for these guys once we have them built? Build another land defense here. I just want to do them one at a time. Like 10,000 is not nothing for a nation that only has 70 million people. Okay, we have some money. Let's continue our scans. Okay, nuclear fuel +8 or +4. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's get the increase in the infrastructure first. I think I'm happy enough with that to start building. Well, he says, and then the greed kicks in. How many more scans? I don't have that many more scans to do. Nuclear fuel 4, iron, some water, acknowledged. Yeah, we're gonna zip through these relatively quickly. 91, 100. Okay, nuclear fuel +4 seems to be the pretty standard for a good roll here. I'll take the research speed, I think, first. We are getting pretty high on stability. Yeah, we'll take that education, I think, and then we'll start in on individualism. There's lots of good stuff there. That commercial sector bonus is kind of juicy to me, since now we actually have the tech for it. All right, take me out of there. Somebody's getting replaced. That's fine. Okay, looking for areas that need to be scanned. Yep. Okay, water +2. I mean, we could build steel in all these places. I don't know how much we need, to be honest. Also, we have... Well, actually, there is demand for this. No, there is not. We're supplying 13K, and the demand is only 1.7. I'm supplying 400 of that. Okay, well, is what it is. Okay, scan it. Iron, okay. Already done. Okay, are we done scanning? No, not quite. Close enough. Iron +8. Ooh. That's not terrible because this is an area that already has steel refinery. So that's just free money. It's free money. We're making 19 off of steel. We're up to 43. Oh my goodness. That's almost halving the cost of my construction. That is so good. Okay, where was my... You. All right, so build me a nuclear reactor in New London. Also, let's go find the titanium. All right, so was I just... Okay, apparently we have a lot of infrastructure to build. Was I just wrong and we had the building and I just missed it? Okay, industrial computerization requires electronics 5, gives us resource capacity and some development equilibrium. That's not anything new. The petrochemical industry gives us energy sector +1, but we don't have whatever the resource is that would do it. Nuclear reactor's a nuclear reactor. Fusion reactor's a reactor. Consumer goods use the heavy metals. Electronics use the lithium. See, these being colored pink, which is kind of the same color as the resource, is throwing me off some. That's building robots. That uses robots. Okay, we have commercial zones now. And remember, it requires manufacturing, but we have manufacturing. We have level like 12 manufacturing. So we can actually do this wherever we want. The fact that it does development equilibrium kind of makes me want to put it in my bigger areas. AI training supercomputers, genetic harvesting, clones, genes, barracks, aerodome, spaceport, fortification, munition, asteroid harvester. All right, I definitely do not have nanocomposites. Where are nanocomposite tech? It's got to be in here. And I swear it started talking about, yeah, nano region modifier. I guess we just unlock it with nano composites. Yeah, there it is. Oh my goodness, I am blind. There it is. So that will give us requires electronics, which we have. Nanobot health. Okay, this is going to be a good one. And we have that in the queue. We do not. Let's get that in there. And in fact, I'll even put that before we add the colonization range, which is kind of whatever to me. I wonder if we can terraform the moon. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know how sci-fi we're gonna go. Okay, nuclear reactors going in. Okay, here. Now here's where we may consider one of those. Not that one. Well, maybe that one in the future. Digital assembly would raise our electronics by 1. Mass production. Yeah, here we go. Mass production would increase our manufacturing by 1, but it needs 5 energy. I kind of want both of those if I'm being honest. Electronics plus 1. 21k. You know what? 21k is nothing to me. It's fine. All right, education efficiency even more. Power plants. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to find you. Okay, so we can only build 1 level of that right now, but now that we have power here, we can build power grid. So this increases the power level by 1, but we're already at 5. I guess you are making a little bit of money. What is your bonus? Stability gain. Ooh, okay. Remember, we have lots of policies and privileges that cost like 0.5 stability, just reoccurring, not a one-off. Like rural laborers is minus 0.5. So getting extra stability from sources lets us turn on really powerful privileges. What do we need for a fusion reactor? Nano composites, which we're actually really close to. Limit is 1. It's going to give me 3 levels. This doesn't tell me what the current limit is. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to want that at some point. Let's go ahead and plop 1 down. Okay, we finished that. I wish I knew, what are you costing me? That's the question. What are you costing me? Oh, here we go. Okay, industrial capacity minus 47. We have thousands. Literally 2.5k if we needed it. And some manpower. Okay, and my manpower stats here, we are doing just fine. We're using 31 out of 1,000. Okay. I no longer need to be quite so reserved on that. Let's go ahead and, again, let's train defensive. Defensive. That didn't do it. Train. Defensive. Train. Defensive. All right. We're militarizing the moon. It had to happen. Let's slow it down, but then let's unpause. Okay, so 26. We're making 43 here. That is maxed out. We are making an okay amount of development. I think I will give them a space hab. I don't think I care about much else here. We could make hydroponic farms. They claim they would make a little bit of money. I'm not sure I just want the extra stuff here, though. A very cheap automated factory. Yeah. That's 1 million more people. That was 1/75th of the population. Definitely worth that for that cheap. Okay, here. Raise the resource extraction to max. Give us space hab. Give us an automated factory. Okay, a little bit in debt, that's fine. All right, do we want unit morale and resource capacity? Don't really care if I'm being honest. Okay, so individualism, let's actually pause here. Individualism, equilibrium development, consumer good industry efficiency, research speed, middle class loyalty. Yeah, you are looking like the type of thing that I do want. Corporate, yeah. Middle class and corporate is definitely our build here. So yes, we're in. All right, I'm not going to switch that one out. I very much like that we are actually getting some military units down. I am so notorious for not building military when I should. Okay, power sector's going in. I'm looking for other regions that need development. Okay, you are gonna get a nano factory when it comes up. So let's, oh my goodness. Apparently I've been getting a lot of texts that have raised my infrastructure levels. You're another one and you're getting it. Okay, so both of those. We're gonna have a lot of that. Okay, I can raise the spaceport here. Okay, let's hold on a second. Let me just pay off the debt that I actually incurred. Recently passed. Okay, we're getting really high on stability. Let's go take a peek in here. Okay, unfortunately, I would like to go to like a technocracy. But that only has one ruling class, so I don't think we're gonna do that. I like having those two in there. It just makes me really stupid stable. We're doing private settlement currently. I don't need to stay on that when we're done surveying, and I think we are done surveying. I think it would be better if we go state-owned for the extra population. That's a little bit of kind of a combo. Yeah, let's get that turned on. The sooner I turn it on, the sooner the cooldown's done, and then we can change it if we need to. Policies, we're doing construction. Fiscal is neutral. Okay, welfare system. Maybe, can we start looking at this? 15K, and it would give me 5 factional. I really just don't even need it, if I'm being honest. Some low espionage, which we're not really doing a lot. Gives me spy agency power. I don't really care. Are we running? Let's actually get everyone employed. So, defense minister. Sure. And our spy. Okay, it doesn't show me any skill levels. I assume it would be, well, I don't even know what it would be. We'll put Rin in there. All right, now we have somebody working every job. You know what? We're not really doing combined arms because we don't have air. Maybe we switch this up. Mobile. Honestly, probably should just go to defensive. Yeah, that way I can switch off of that when I want a war, because let's all be honest, I'm going to get declared on. It's not going to be me declaring on anybody. Okay. I still have a lot of stability. It might be time for some more privileges. Consumer good industry, 10%. 20K in steel. Beautiful. And what are we researching currently? The culture thing. Okay. That is fine. All right, now for you, I don't know how many levels I can give it. I guess we just go for it. Okay, I can apparently give it 7 levels of power grid. I'm gonna do it. That's just so much free stability. Like I said, I want to get this above 0.5 because then we could put on like a really strong privilege on somebody. Okay, another region that doesn't have anything going on. You could be spaceport. Okay, hang on. I just put myself 2 million. Okay, hang on. No, let's not go 2 million in debt. Yeah, I see there's a reason that I would not want to go that deep. Okay, I'll go that far. We'll go to level 4. The power grid costs escalate. Spoilers. That is so expensive. Okay, both of those are, well, we don't have the automated factory done, but almost done. And actually, I didn't check. Did we gain anything that would give us distance to get to Jupiter? These really need to tell you how much AU you need to get there. Now we have a couple choices here. This is like special fuels. This is water, kind of. This is mining. What is that? Exotic mining. Exotic refining. Alright. If we zoom in on Europa, what do we know here? Insignificant atmosphere, sparse sunlight, low gravity, subsurface ocean, hydroponic farm efficiency 300%, region population plus 50, enemy siege time and project upkeep lowered. And that's just going to be the whole planet. So I'm thinking we go here first because of that population thing. One of our biggest weaknesses is population. That is one of our goals to fix. And by going here, this is just an area that should have lots and lots of population room. All right, let's not jump the gun though. IO. You have anything special? Ground stability costs extra. Okay, so you cost extra, so you're in an expensive place. All right, and I mean, there are goodies here, of course, but this is going to be a harder one to do. Okay, maybe we don't start with that one. Also, I'm not in range, just for the record. Ganymede. Do anything special? Infinite atmosphere, sparse sunlight, low grav. The answer is no. Okay, so really of these, Europa does seem to be the best. All right, but we're not in range yet. We haven't finished that tech though. Interplanetary colonization. We're doing the nanocomposites first. So we'll get to find out if we can reach there or not with that tech very soon. All right, let's zip back over here. Oh, your maximum development went down. Oh, you have, hang on. What do we got going on here? Why do we have some unrest? Are we cool here? We are not cool here. So what's your problem? The rural laborers and the bureaucrats are a little angry. All right, let's see if we can solve some of that. Boy, you all got super crank. I wonder what triggered all that. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Managers. Red flag laws. We could probably afford one of these because I'm gonna get some more stability stuff. Power and loyalty and edict benefits plus 20%. And the edicts are these. I mean, that's fine. Mass censorship gives us less war exhaustion. Increase red tape with less increased resource tax. Bureaucratized military gives us extra reinforcement rate. NGO dominance, logistics hub project efficiency. Logistics hub. Do I have that? I thought we did. Hang on. Let's go here. I think some buildings only unlock based on other buildings. No, we don't. Okay, logistics hub. There's not a search. Oh, that's for planets. Logistics hub. I would have expected it kind of like in this neighborhood. And support, asteroid harvester. Chromite refinery. Okay, whatever that is, I'm not sure. Maybe a good one, but I don't know. Digital ID. Okay, that would make my rural laborers mad, and they're already mad. It does give me a lot of stability, though. I think that's kind of whatever. So do we have any of these that make them happy but not more powerful? No, not at the moment. That one makes them extra powerful. That one at least doesn't have any other downsides. Neither does this. You know what? Sure. Sure, we'll give them that one. Rural laborers already have something. I can't fix that. The ideologues and the military. All right, well, let's get the people who are actually, whoops, actually cranky. So for the ideologues, regional political power, a ruling faction, regional that would be kind of nice. That would give it to both my middle class and my corpos. This is a pretty expensive one, though. This is going to be minus 0.5, which I actually can't afford currently. Military fanaticism, activist economics, infrastructure build cost is slightly lowered. Credentialism. Okay, we'll just scale my leaders with some extra charisma. Political commissars, extra leader gain for XP. I am kind of stacking that. 10 and 10. I really need 16% would be ideal. I don't think we're going to get that. Monument efficiency. I haven't built any monuments. I kind of like the idea of the extra charisma skill. It just helps. It just helps. And this isn't super expensive. All right, we'll put that on. All right, but I need to go deal with all that. Now, here's another thing. Like, it's great to see people and it's great to see that. Where's my screen that shows me this type of UI but shows unrest? Because unless I have one of those, I'm going to have to literally just go clicking around every single place to make sure. And it looks like I've solved the problem. Again, we really should have had a warning about that. I don't know what's all of a sudden ticked everyone off. But I'm glad I caught that because that could have been pretty spicy. Okay, I am good now. Are we cool here? We're not. We had 4 and it's definitely lower. So we got to wait for this to go back down. That's a little annoying because now we're actually lowering. We still have like a full 1.0 to go. Okay, digital assembly. We are currently at level 1. 71k to go up another one. Now that would raise my electronics score. From that we get unit advantage. I guess the education modifier is not scaling. That's not too important to me if I'm being honest. I think we let that go. Right, my power sector's coming in. The Shire. 200k. Right, and you're setting yourself up to build the nano stuff, which is what we're working on. Our population's back up to 77 million. That's good. Yeah, got some manufacturing here. You're building up for that. I'm looking for places that have titanium and making sure their infrastructure is up to date so we can build those. Meritocracy, 5% research speed. Personal autonomy gives us some faction loyalty for my middle class. Great. Any other titanium big deposits? Answer is no. Okay, I do have this spot. You are probably going to be set for some more space fleet capacity. I'm going to hold off on that, though, because I don't know how expensive these new factories are going to be. It's okay to be in the positive, to actually make a little bit of money. Okay, research complete. So we got the nano composite factory. It does give me that equilibrium, which is nice. And then we could build nanobot healthcare. Once we have nano components, which we will. Population lifespan plus 10 and development. This is one that might be worth spamming. We are such a population problem nation. Government reforms, we have a law to look at. And then nano composite deposit, trade value goes up and industrial capacity. Okay. Let's look at the law first. Nano composite law. Privatized nano machines. Tax base 1.2x. That is juicy. Regulated gives us a whopping 0.1 stability. Ooh. That's a lot of things. Elite restricted gives a bunch of power to the aristocrats. Mandatory nano implants. Faction power base minus 5%. I don't know why I would care about that. Reform nanocomposite law, nanochemical equality. Just a bunch of bureaucracy effects that we'll look at here in a second and see what that is. Corporate faction plus 20% effect. All right, so bureaucracy effect, extra admin efficiency, and extra maximum taxes. And I said corporate, I think. Yeah, that is just negative from debt, which we're not going to stay in. So I don't really care about that. Okay, I think we are going to look at that tax-based one or the stability. So you're corporate and middle class. Okay, that I see. That's fine. Liberal alignment, liberal and traditional. That stability is really juicy, but so is the taxes. Let's take the stability. Yes. Okay. With that done, where are you at, my pretties? Here you are. Here's one of them. All right, so we would like the nano factory. Consumer, electronics, robotics, mass mechanization. I mean, that will be really useful at some point. Commercial zones. Nano composite factory. Here we are. All right, so we have the electronics. Easy peasy. Gives us development equilibrium. Okay, and you're going to be what? You're not going to tell me. Okay. All right, let's do that. Okay, would you please? I was there for a second. Okay, nanocomposite level plus 10, middle class regional power. Okay, really nice. That's going to be helpful. I haven't had, it's been a while since we've been able to kind of boost our middle class with anything big. I'll just double check. I know we had a second one, right? I'm not crazy. Maybe I am crazy. Nope, there it is. There it is. Just in a different spot than my eye was catching. Okay, same thing. We want the nano composite factory. And I saw a 6 somewhere. Yeah, you. I think that's fine. Well, let's actually see how good the money is. I don't believe when you see the, oh, we'll pay you this much. I just don't believe that. I'm not certain what that's trying to say. You're claiming, yeah, look at that. So it costs 947 a year to run these, and you're claiming that we're going to make 607. So this would be running at a loss. But I'm not sure that that's true. I'm not sure that that's true. Okay, infrastructure. Okay, this one's going to finish first by far. I'm curious to see what the bonus is going to be for just having the resource. Okay, pause. All right, I'm going to keep you in suspense for a second because I'm going to go grab commerce sector level modifier +1. All right, nano composites. We currently have 11 as our largest deposit, and that will be the largest unless I can find a way to boost it. Per level, industrial capacity times +5%. And then, oh, I see. And then just having it gives us a development equilibrium and a health for my military. So we get plus 55% industrial capacity. Holy moly. That's going to skyrocket us. All right. And then, now that we have that, let's go back here, for example, back in Japan. If we wanted to build a nanobot healthcare, it's 100K development equilibrium. Honestly, it's not even that great down there. 1.8. 2. Yeah, you're all dropping a little bit. What's your problem? Rural laborers could be happier. That's part of our problem. Boy, they have a big effect on things because of that. Algorithmic growth rates. I am not impressed. I am not impressed. Didn't we find a development map mode? Regions, migration, alignment, Diplo. Development. All right, can I click somewhere else? Yeah, look at that. Green and nothing else is green for me. This is just so good having the factories that it has here. Okay. I think that makes it worthwhile here. I'm not sure it makes it worthwhile elsewhere. So if we were to do that, oh, we also have the commercial zones. That is also equilibrium. How much are you? 26K, that is nothing. And a nano composite, not the factory. Healthcare, that is almost 200K. I do think that is worth it here. I think these are going to be reserved for the time being to areas that are juicy. Mass production. Again, you're telling me I'm not going to make money by doing this. That one should be fine. Development equilibrium. Yeah, I think we're just all inning on the development here. I'm building some big juicy constructions. All right, now I've not built any monuments. That would be clergy power. Controlling faction loyalty is kind of nice. A little extra unity. Cost me $78 per year. Okay, I don't think we're building that in a big metropolitan area. I don't think that's happening. But in smaller rural areas, maybe we will add those. Thank you. Let's get you updated. Let's get you updated. Okay, and then I'm out of money. And speaking of out of money, we're also out of time. So the colonization of the moon is great. We are getting there. Population-wise, I would say the moon, we've definitely passed 1 million people total. We are probably around 2 million people on the moon. If at any point we ever actually have more people on the moon than we have on Earth, then we will switch our capital up here. Other than that, that is the plan there. Our moons providing actually a lot of money here. That is pretty nice. Still making the most out of Japan, 21K. And I think that's because we have the population there, if I had to guess. Income tax 20K, yep. By far 35 million people. But that's shifting around. That is shifting around. 21K is only a sixth of our budget at this point. And we have green eyes looking at Jupiter and Europa specifically. Getting in a big hydroponic thing. Maybe we can get our food bonus higher, get that pop growth, really start populating in there. I think once we get there, we'll get ourselves at least a little presence on each one of those planets, and we'll try to dominate that sector. And if we lose our Earth holdings, I would be, I mean, not okay with that. I never like losing anything, but we would just be a Jovian nation, I suppose. All right, builders, if you enjoy this series, don't forget to leave a like on it. That tells me what I should keep working on. If you're not subscribed, I hope I've earned your subscription. I'd love to have you back here, or maybe join me when I'm live. Want to continue to support the channel so I can try out experimental games like this? You can always leave a super thanks here. Join me live for a super chat. Consider becoming a member on the channel. That does get you early access to things that I'm working on, such as this at the moment, but it can be other things too. There's also a Patreon linked in the channel info. I also have a Discord. You're welcome to join in there. I do an @everyone in my announcement channel before I go live. So if you can't trust YouTube to tell you when I'm live, you can get your info that way. There's been some people organizing some multiplayer games there of various things that have been on the channel. You're welcome to hop on there. Otherwise, just come and hang out, chat games. I will see you there, builders. Babble out.